Cisco Certified Network Associate, Day 8. Today we are going to discuss some basic configuration of the switch. We will take a new switch or we can take a fresh switch, and then we will have some basic configuration we are going to do on that one. So first we will have a look on the modes of switch like user execution mode, privilege execution mode, global configuration mode. So these are the modes of switch. I will just demonstrate you in the packet tracer that what are they and how they look like and what are the things you can do from there. Then we will start some basic configuration like changing some host name, setting up login banner, console password, telnet password, enable password, and there are some of other things. Let's take one example from packet tracer and then just do the configuration. Okay, so let's start the packet tracer now. So if you have the logins for the packet tracer from the netcat, then it's okay. If you don't have, you can still use the guest login. So just try to use the guest login. It will try to confirm you the guest login once again. Let me minimize it. Yeah. So either you can just put the email ID and password. If you have not used packet tracer before, you can register on netcat and you can use the packet tracer free of cost. There's no charge for that. And but right now I'm going to use a guest user. So we are going to discuss switch today, right? So let's take one switch from here like this. Okay, so this is a new switch and there's no configuration on that one. So suppose in the real life you might be having a new switch and you have to connect to this switch obviously from your computer. So in order to connect your switch to your computer, you need a console cable, right? So let me show you that how console cable look like. So console cable looks like this. I think yeah, like this. You see, this is a console cable. So let's have an image of that one, right? You see that console cable, so that you connect on the switch. So one of the port is connected to the switch and another of the port is connected to the your computer. So you can have like either like this LAN cable or the LAN port RJ45 connector, or you can have this USB. So if you are using the LAN port, then if it's okay, you don't need anything. But if you are using this USB port, then you need USB to LAN driver. Okay, so that also you need to additionally install for that one. But normally when you buy this type of cables, then these drivers and are automatically installed on your computer. It's like a new pen drive. When you connect on your computer, it automatically installs the driver. Or when you connect a new mouse in your computer, automatically it installs the driver and you can start using it. You don't have to download any additional driver from your uh, you know web or internet that you need some specific driver. You just connect it, automatically the driver will install and you just use it. But the let me show you that how switch look like, right? So let's take one example, Cisco switch, right? Obviously you have to know that where this you will connect this cable. So Cisco switch image. So that's how you are having the Cisco switch, right? You are having this one. So the Cisco switch console like that. So you see that how you are connected from the LAN cable, correct? You can connect like this as well from the console cable. They have connected like this. They have one cable or connected over here. You now it is connected to your computer, but if you don't have this port, this RJ45 to DB9 connector, this is called DB9 connector. If you don't have this on your computer, then you obviously you need some conversion mechanism for that one. So that's what they are using, the DB9 to USB to serial adapter. Clear? So that's how you connect. So some of the ports are also coming like this, console ports. You see, these are the console ports. All three are over. That's the Catalyst series of the Cisco. Okay, so there are different series in the Cisco switches. So based on the series, you might be having different type of the ports, but obviously you will be getting like this. So the conclusion is that you have to directly connect one cable in your computer and one to the your switch. Okay, and obviously once you connect it, you need some IP address. But switch is normally a layer 2 device, but in order to connect via console cable, we have to use some default IP. So let's take search the new Cisco default IP address of new Cisco switch, like that. It's very use one all. So this is the default IP address 192.168 1.254. So that will be the default IP address of the switch. So whenever you are connected via console cable, so you have to give the IP address to your computer of the same network. So you can use, I'd like 254 is of your switch. You can use 253 in your machine. You can assign it aesthetically. Let me show you. I think I have already shown you how to give an static IP. I think I have already shown you. So just you don't have to choose dynamic IP, not using the DHCP server. You just have to use assign IP address, right? So you will assign IP using the static IP, and then you can use this 253, 252, any of the IP address, but it is recommended, or I suggest 253. Why to use another one? But obviously you are having the range from this 192.168 1.2 to 160 192 168 1.253. You can use all those IP addresses. You are having around 253 IP addresses. Okay, there's a lot of discussion on that one. Let's go to back to our packet tracer. So that's how you can take the new fresh switch. You are having, I think there's a some physical view as well. I think let me show you if I have it. Yeah, let me click on this. Yeah, this is better. So this is a physical. That's how your physical switch looks like. You see, that's the image of the switch. So there are 24 ports. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many? 6, 6, 12. 3 3 6 6 down also 6 6 12, and this is also 12, that is 24, and that will be obviously the console cable that you can connect over there. And in the Cisco switch, uh, we are not having the on off switch. Normally in the router we are having the on off switch, like your electric switch. So like that you're having, and you can just click it, switch it on and off. So whenever you go to this CLI mode, so this is automatically it goes to the it shows you like you have connected your switch to the console cable. So the display what you see on your computer, the same display is being shown here like this. So if you want to check it, I'm just delete this one, okay, and show you the fresh switch. Just quickly I add it and show you that what are the things we are seeing in the switch. So this I have just added it, and just click go to the CLI. You see that this our switch is booting up. It's showing this hash symbol. It is collecting some information from the flash memory. Now it is going to the normal mode. You can press enter, and this is our, whenever you are seeing this greater than symbol, then it is a user execution mode, right? We are having, we discussed, we are having the different modes. So this is the first mode, that is the user exec mode, whenever you are having the greater than symbol. But if you want to do some changes on the node, or if you want to see something, because if you want to see the configuration show also, then it is not running, right? So is that okay? I think it have some privilege show, and you can see these type of the things from the user privilege mode. Okay, you have not enabled the switch till now, but still you can see the ARP, CDP, clock, these type of the information you can see from the user execution mode. But if you want to go to the privilege mode, user privilege execution mode, then you can type enable like this, enable, or you can also use the start form only like en is the you know short of the enable. But if you type E, then it will not work, because if you type E, then it shows that let me type E and question mark, then it shows that there are two options available, enable and exit. So your prompt is confused that either you want uh, enable or exit. So we have to type some specific. When we type en, then it knows, okay, now you're trying to type the enable. Okay, so once I type enable, it shows you the hash symbol. You see, whenever we are having the hash symbol, now we are in the privilege execution mode. So now if you check the show command now, so you will see that there are a lot of commands you can check. You have increased number of commands you can run in the show. Here we are having this much only, right? ARP2 VTP, and here is to start from the access list and end with something VTP as well. So, but the more number of commands you can run from the privilege mode. So this is obviously, it's like giving you the access more than the normal one. And after that, if you write configure terminal, right, you can also like configure terminal, or you can use a short form like config and T. So once you write config T, it sends you the global configuration mode. It is the global configuration mode of the switch. Okay, so first thing we are going to do today, we are going to change the host name of the switch. What is the host name? This is the thing, switch is the host name. So we are will try to change the host name. So whenever we are having the large network, so to identify the switch, that which of the switch you are connecting to, we have to identify the switch. So normally it is done via area, like if it is of the same building, then it might be of the floor and room number. And if you are in the city, then it can start with the initial of the some city, like if you are in Delhi, then it can have Delhi, and in Delhi you might be having lot of switches, so you can have some numeric number like 5432. So you can just give such type of numbers to the host name, so it will identify or tell you, you can easily identify that, okay, this is from Delhi and that is from switch number 5432. Or if you have the smaller city, you can also use the smaller city name as well. So right now I'm you going to use the switch one only, nothing else, or SW1 we can use. So just type command as host name. Okay, host name, and then write whatever the host name you want to put. So you can also put the question mark. Whenever you put the question mark, it shows you the, you can give the word means whatever uh, string you want to give. So I want to give the switch name as switch 1. So once we get SWN, this switch will be changed to SW1. Let me put the enter. You see that whenever we put the enter, now the switch has been changed to switch 1. So this is like changing our host name. Next thing, we are going to do the banner. Okay, so banner is like creating welcome message. So it's not like a welcome message, it is like a message you give or you want to give whenever anyone is trying to log on the switch. So once anyone logged on to the switch, you show some message. Okay, so for that one we need this we use this command banner, and we can check this question mark symbol. After that one is showing this MOTT. The full form of the MOTT is message of the day. So we will use this command MOTD. Okay, and after that you can put the question mark once again. It's showing that the line C, banner text C, where C is the delimiting character. So now it is very confusing that what it wants to say. So it's just saying that whenever we are writing any welcome message, it is, you can start with any character. You can start with any character. Here they are starting with C and ending with the C. So if I want to start any message, we can choose any symbol or character. So right now I'm using hash symbol. Okay, so if I press enter now, after that one, whatever we write, that will be the part of the message. Okay, that will be the banner message. So if I press enter, is giving you enter text message end with character hash. So after that one, any whatever I am writing, like that, if I am putting this with a lot of star, and if I write the that welcome to the switch one, like welcome switch one, right? And switch one, and don't spoil it, don't spoil it. Okay, and you can just close via the lot of the star rows once again, star rows. Okay, and if I want to close this message, means because we want to end the message, so we can write the hash once again. So once we press the hash, and then it is going back to the where we were in the global configuration mode. So let me put the hash now. So if I press hash and then enter, so if I press the hash and enter, you see that we are going back to the global configuration mode, and our banner message is saved. If you want to check it, let's try to check by exit, and exit once again. You see that we are here, and now if we press the enter, then we are seeing the welcome message, this one, welcome to welcome switch one, don't spoil it. So this is the thing we are doing in the banner message. So normally it is recommended not to use lot of characters or big or huge banner message, because whatever the banner message or character you are giving it here, that is taking some memory in the switch. So do not don't waste it. You just have to use this banner message as a short and crisp. Okay, so next thing was our telnet password, not telnet, that was console password. So what is actually why we configure this console password? Because suppose your switch is installed in any of the area, and anybody goes to that switch and tries to connect via console cable, and they can access your switch. So to protect that one, we set some password for that purpose. Okay, so that was called as a console password. So for that, we use this line keyword, because there's line, because obviously we are connecting by a line. And for that one, we can press the question mark. Then for that, we have option the different options. Like first we are having the console, then we are having the VTY. VTY is used for the this telnet, because that is a virtual terminal. Okay, and this is a primary terminal, and this is a physical what we connect via cable. So now right now we are going to set for the console. So line console, and because there's only one console cable, so we are having the console 0, only one line, line console 0. So once you go to the line console 0, then the mode is being changed to the line. Okay, and after that one, you can put the password, use the command as a password. You can press the tab as well. You see that it is being filled automatically with the password, and now you can push set the password. So I'm using the password as Cisco 123. Okay, so this will be the password of my console. If I press enter, now my console password is set. So if we try to connect via console, let me exit it, exit again. So if I exit it, it is still not asking me the password, right? Normally it should ask here, but it is not asking. Why it is not asking? Because we have set the password, but we have not we have not set the switch to apply that password. So for that purpose, what we are going to do, we are going to the same place once again, line console 0. And now what we are going to do, we are going to apply that password into the switch. So for to apply that password into the switch, we have the keyword like login. Once you give this card keyword login and press enter, now whatever the password you have given Cisco 123, that has been applied on the console port. So if you go to the exit now and try to access, now you see that now it is asking you the password. So now you will use the console password. So we are going to, I am writing Cisco Cisco 123 and press enter. Now you see that now I'm allowed to access the switch. So this is a security feature we have to, we normally implement it in the switch. And now we can go to the enable config. And here also where there's one more thing, right? Because right now if we want to enable it, right, we are here we going from the user execution mode to the privilege execution mode. So here also we can set the password for this, enabling this one to from the this user execution mode to the privilege mode. We can set the password. To set that password, let's try to change that one. Config terminal and set the enable password, and that's I'm going to put the CCNA 123. Okay, enable password is CCNA 123 and press enter. So if you exit now, exit once again, and if you first we are here, so this is a console password. First console password is Cisco 123. We are in the user execution mode. Now if you want to enable it, then it should ask the password once again. You see this asking the password once again to enable it, and that we have given as CCNA 123. And now we are have enabled the switch, means now we have entered to the user privilege mode. Okay, now this is the case when you have to go to switch for any configuration change, right? If you have in one city and you're switch into the another city, then you can't access remotely, right? You have to go to that switch physically. Near to that switch, you have to connect via console cable, and then only you can make the configuration. So for that purpose, to access this switch remotely, we need the telnet, right? So in order to telnet this switch, we have to give some IP address to the switch. So right now, before that one, we have the console password, right? That we have given this one console IP address 192.168.1.254. But now we are going to give another IP address for the telnet purpose. That is called the management IP address, right? In the presentation, we were having one place like this one, management IP address. So management IP address to manage this switch remotely. So in order to check set these password, first I want to show you the interfaces, that how many interfaces we are having in the switch. So for that purpose, you can put the command show IP interface. I'm typing the short form int interface, and brief. Brief, the short form is BR. And once we press enter, we can see all the interfaces of the switch. Interfaces means ports, physical port on the switch. So we are having the 24 ports here. We have 2 gigabyte port, and there is a one more port that is called the VLAN. This is also a interface actually. Okay, so in order to, although VLAN is a very vast topic, we will cover in the further classes this VLAN, but right now just keep in mind that there is a VLAN interface, and to remotely accessing this switch, we can give an IP address to the VLAN interface. Normally we cannot give IP address to these interfaces because this is layer 2 device, but we can give an IP address to that VLAN interface so that we can manage this switch remotely, or we can telnet this switch or SSH this switch. Okay, so I'm going to first configuration terminal mode, and then we are going to the interface VLAN 1. If you hit enter, you can see that we have gone to the interface mode now. And this is the interface mode of the VLAN 1 because we have entered on this mode using this command interface VLAN 1. Okay, now you can give the IP address. IP address. The command is like this: IP address and whatever the IP address you want to give on this one. So I'm giving this 192.168 dot. I'm giving this time 30.30. Okay, and after that you have to give the subnet mask of this one. So this is a 192 IP address, so we can give 255.255.255.0. Okay, this is the subnet mask. This is the way of giving you the IP address. So if you don't know this one, you can just simply give the IP, put the question mark. You can see that this showing as the address. You can put the address, put tab, IP address. Now again you can put the question mark. Now it is giving you the hint that you have to write the IP address like this ABCD, right? A dot B dot C dot T, C dot D. So you can write 192.168.30.30. Again, you can put the question mark. It you it is giving you the hint that now you have to enter the IP subnet mask. So now you can put the subnet mask 255.255.255.0. If you press enter, now this IP address 192.168.3.30.30 has been assigned to this VLAN 1. And if you want to check it, right, so you can give that command. Let me go view the exit, and we will run again that same command, show IP interface brief. So you see that this IP address is now being assigned to this interface. If you go a little bit up, if you see, then there is a unassigned. There was nothing assigned on this one, right? So now we have assigned this one, and this is port is down right now, administratively down. So we have to put this port as up. Okay, so we can go once again to the same place, configuration mode, interface, VLAN 1, like this, and we have put the no shutdown, because this is the shutdown and this is the, when we put the no shutdown, it means that it will make it up. Shutdown means we have to close the port, right? We want to shut it down. But if we give the command no shutdown, means that we make this port up once again, means working normal. So we just, as we give the command no shutdown, it will give you the message like that, interface VLAN 1 change state to up. Okay, so it is also that we have covered one thing, that the negating the command. So it is like whatever you want to, if I want to put shut it down once again, so we can give this command shut down, or we can just give you shut only. If you, it will put the interface down. You see that it has been shut down. And if you want to put it back, put it up, then you can give the command shut down. So this is the, very good logic of this Cisco iOS, that whatever you want, things you want to do, you can do it easily. If you don't want to do anything, you just give no command before that one, and whatever the things you have done, that will be undone. So once we do is no shutdown, it will be up once again. Clear? So now next thing is to access this switch remotely, right? To access this switch remotely, let me try to add a computer, and this is my laptop here. Okay. And from there, let me connect to a cable from switch to computer. Okay, so it will take some time, and then this orange dot will be green. It means the signal will be okay on that time. So till that time, we have given an IP address of the switch, that is how much, 192.168.30.30/24. Okay, so in the same subnet, uh, in the same network, we are trying to give an IP address to the computer. So we are giving 192.168.30.29 or 31, anything you can give. Let me giving it 29, and the subnet mask will fill automatically 255.255.255.0, and rest is done. Now let me go to the command prompt, and this is my command prompt. Okay, so first let me try to ping IP address. If that symbol is green, now it is green. So ping 192.168.30.30. Let me try to ping the switch, that if we are having the connectivity from the computer to switch or not. Yes, its ping is okay. And the first important part, that the first ping is going request timed out. This is because of the ARP, address resolution of protocol, because our computer does not know the MAC address of the switch. So in the first packet, for the first frame it is being dropped, first packet is being dropped, and the remaining it is successful. Okay, so now let me try to telnet my switch. Telnet 192.168. Oh, we cannot telnet right now because we have not enabled the telnet on the switch, but still we should try. You see that it connection is closed by the foreign host. Why this is? Because we have not enabled the telnet access from the switch till now. So we have given the IP address, so we can reach the switch, but still we cannot access, we cannot change the configuration, right? So go to the config terminal line, and this time we are going to line VTY. And if you put the question mark after VTY, it is giving you the option from 0 to 15. 0 to 15 means if we go to the console, you remember that was console 0 because we are having only one line. But in case of the telnet, because there are multiple computer can connect to this one, so concurrently means simultaneously 16 from 0 to 15, that is total 16 person can access the same switch but at the same time. Okay, uh, so I'm trying to configure all 0 to 16. I'm changing, enabling this 0 to 16, all of them. Okay, so 0 to 15 and enter. So line VTY 0 to 15, whatever I'm doing from 0 to 15. If you want to make a group like 0 to 4, you can make another password. 4 to 8, you can put another password. 8 to 15, you can put another password. So you can do as per your requirement. But I'm doing from 0 to 15. So whatever changes I'm doing, that is applicable on from all the lines, all 16 lines. I'm setting the password. Okay, password again I'm doing the same, CCNA 123. Okay, so once I did it, then it is enabled, the password is set, but still it will not ask for the, if I try to access this one, right, 30, then it is asking the password, this CCNA 123, and now we have the access, right, to the switch. If I want to enable it, and for the enable, it is asking the same password what we have set on the switch. That was again CCNA123. So I have put it. Now we have to the privilege mode. And if I want to change the host name from here, right? So let me change the host name as switch one. Switch one. Okay. Right. Earlier it was SW1. Now I have made it switch one. And press enter. Once I press enter, you see that here the name has been changed to switch 1. Now you are saying, oh no sir, it is changed only here, it has not been changed here. So just press enter, you see that it has been changed here as well, right? You see it has been changed to here as well. So means we can do any changes remotely from anywhere computer wherever you are connected, correct? So till now what we have covered, we have covered the host name, we have covered the logon banner, we checked the console password, we have covered the telnet password, we have enabled password, we have done the management IP. We have not done the default gateway, and negating command is just putting no. Shutdown we have already done. We have put shut down the port and put it back by negating the command no shutdown, and after saving the configuration. So the next thing we are going to discuss the default gateway. Normally, if you remember our switch, so this is not a layer 3 device. You might be asking the question that why we need our default gateway, because this is not a layer 3 device, but we need this default gateway if you want to access your switch remotely. So right now they are just one-to-one connection. So one-to-one connection we can access through our laptop. But if it is a large network, we are having a lot of routers in between, right? So or there is different network. So in that case, you cannot reach that switch. You need some routing configuration or information, routing protocols. So in that case, we have to configure the default gateway on the switch. Means you can access from here to there because you have the routing table, but when switch replies you back, it needs some default gateway to reply you back. So for that purpose, we configure the default gateway, and that is only applicable for the management IP. That's it, because the remaining switch is our layer 2 device. So let me configure our default. First, we have to go to the configure terminal, and then we go to the default question mark interface default gateway router. I think it was router default gateway. It is not showing default gateway. No. Okay, let me search in the Google for the syntax. Default. You can search any of the command in the Google. You will just simply get a default gateway on switch. Oh, on different subnet, it is showing something else on switch. Okay, so once you write it, you will have command enter global configuration mode. Just here. Let me, and whenever you are going, just trust on the Cisco only. Do not trust on any of the other things, right? So VLAN name we're not going to do. We are going to do IP default gateway. Okay, so go to the configuration mode and we use the IP default gateway. Now you see that default gateway, and now you can put the IP address. So that is normally of the same subnet. So 30, but that is based on your design, that whatever the design you have made. So based on that one, your default gateway will be. But normally this is on the same subnet. Default gateway is on the same subnet, 168 and 30.1, and press enter. So now the default gateway is set. So in our example, it is not very much useful because we don't have very large network. So this is being done, and now the next part is to save the configuration. Okay, so the first job is to save the configuration. We can use the command write once you write it, or you can use a short form WR also. So just press enter. It is showing that the building configuration, and okay, it means that whatever the configuration we have done till now, that has been saved on a device. Okay, so there is a two types of the configuration. If you go to the copy, you can put the copy configuration, right? So you there are a lot different types of the configuration space where we can save it. The first type is the running configuration, means whatever the configuration that has we have configured, that is a running configuration on the node. Another is a startup configuration, right? So this is a startup configuration that is actually a non-volatile memory, means once you restart your switch, so there's nothing on the switch. It just looks up the startup configuration, whatever the startup configuration file is there, is just whatever the configuration is in the startup config file, it applies on the switch, and now it comes up with that startup config. So if you have not saved this configuration, so this running configuration is actually a volatile. Once you restart it, it goes down, it is removed from their system, and only startup config is remaining. So once you write this, once we use this command write, so that means that it has been saved on the that startup config. Okay, and there is a one more way you can copy from this. This is another way of saving this configuration. You can that copy running config, means that copy from current system configuration, running configuration, and you can put the space command and to where you are going to config. So copy to where we are going to copy to start, means target is our start configuration, means this is our source. From running configuration to start configuration, we are going to save. Once we press enter, now the is destination file name. Okay, it is asking the file name, so you can give any name, like we can give as a startup start config. Okay, and you press enter. Error while startup config. Okay, not a problem. Okay, not a problem. So that's how actually you can do it. Destination file name, you can give the startup config and give this file name, and that will be saved on your device. Okay, so you see that this is a NVRAM. NVRAM is non-volatile RAM, and there is a VRAM. VRAM is volatile RAM. Okay, so that's how we save the configuration, and the best thing is to just use the write command. Once you write it, and everything is saved on your device. Once you even you shut it down and restart it, nothing happens. And once if you want to copy from startup config to running config or running to startup config, you can use the copy command. Okay, so that's it for the day, and on the coming lesson onwards, we will use some more advanced configuration. Okay, we will continue a few classes on switch. Thank you guys. See you soon in the next video.